Hey everyone, welcome back to the mat with me. Today I have a full body mat Pilates session that should be under 30 minutes. You can get it in from anywhere, and it's just one of those sessions that can refresh and re-energize you, whether it's first thing in the morning, after work in the evening, or maybe even midday on a lunch break. All you'll need today is your mat or some space to move, so let's get started. Coming down into the center of your mat, tuck those toes, press back into a downward dog for me. Start to gently pedal out through the feet, dropping one heel down to the mat at a time. Lengthening through the back of the legs, just getting some movement here. Maybe feeling those hamstrings stretch out, feeling those calves, just loosening up through the back of the body, maybe even the lower back. Beautiful. Press into those palms, pressing away from the mat. Take a big deep breath in for me and exhale. Beautiful. Drop those heels down for 5. Last 4, 3, 2. On this next one, drop both those heels down. Give me a slight little push, pressing the heels into the mat. Beautiful. Drop those knees down just to touch the mat and press back into your downward dog. Exhale as you drop the knees and then lengthen as you press back. Starting to warm up through the core here. Give me 4. Strong exhale as you drop the knees. 3. Can you draw your ribs down towards your hips? 2. Last one. Beautiful. Drop both the knees down to the mat. Untuck those toes. Drop your belly to the mat. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Inhale for me. Exhale. Pressing away from the mat through those palms. Opening up through the back of the body. Coming into your cat. Inhale, reverse that. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. Tailbone to the ceiling. Exhale. Pressing down and away through the mat. Opening up through the back of the body. Give me 2 more cats and cows. Beautiful. Warming up that spine. And one more either way. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Rounding through the back. Beautiful. Come back into that neutral spine for me. I want you to come into some pelvic tucks. So as you inhale, let your pelvis drop down towards the mat. And as you exhale, let those ribs draw down towards your hips and slightly tuck that pelvis under. Beautiful. It's a small movement here. So inhale, pelvis drops towards the mat. Exhale, pelvis tucks under, ribs draw down to meet the hips. Keep your gaze trained down on the mat in between your palms. And just focus on tucking that pelvis under. Inhale, send that pelvis down to the mat. Open up. Exhale, draw those ribs down towards your hips and tuck that pelvis under. Beautiful. Give me 2 more like that. Last one. Almost like a cat and cow, but really tucking that pelvis under. Everything else stays still. Beautiful. Come back to that neutral spine here. Extend out your right leg. Point that toe to the ceiling as you press back to sit on those heels and come back up. Exhale. Toe points to the ceiling. Beautiful. Sitting back. Lengthening through that inner thigh. Maybe even feeling a nice stretch or some tension release from that left hip. Beautiful. Give me 2 more rocks back. Last one. Beautiful. Come back in. Other side. I'm going to switch around for you. So left leg extends out. Point through that toe. You're going to sit back on the heels. Let that toe point to the ceiling and come back. Exhale. Beautiful. Feeling a really nice stretch in that inner thigh. Maybe even through the hip of the left side. Definitely some massaging of that hip flexor on the right. Beautiful. Exhale down. Give me 2 more like this. And last one. Beautiful. Back to that center position. From here, we're just going to tuck those feet under. We're going to come down to lay in the middle of our mat. So grab behind the thighs, rolling down nice and slowly. Come and lay in the center. Pressing those palms into the mat, you're going to bring both legs up into tabletop. Keeping our hips where they are, drawing our ribs down towards our hips. We're extending out one toe nice and long and bringing it back in. Exhale down. Inhale to return. Alternating the feet. Coming back into center. We're focused on keeping our hips nice and stable, so using our core muscles to keep those hips where they are as we lengthen, extending through the toe. Beautiful. Let the breath help you. Draw those ribs down towards your hips. Press those palms into the mat to help stabilize you. Beautiful. Extending out nice and long, making sure the knee of the stabilizing leg stays over the hip. Beautiful. Pointing nice and long. Give me 5. Last 4. Can you make sure your shoulders are rolled down into the mat? They're not coming up to help stabilize us. 3, 2. Beautiful. Last one, hold it out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg back in. Extend through the opposite leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Back to center. Bring both palms up to the ceiling, spreading out through those fingers, keeping tension in the arms. You're going to continue that movement, extending one leg out, bringing it back in. See how that feels when we've got our arms stretched out above our heads, a longer lever, requiring a little bit more stability and anti-rotation in the body. So we're not letting our hips wiggle around as one leg drops. We're keeping everything else in the body stable. Beautiful. Give me 5, 4, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Last 2. Last 1. Beautiful. Drop both those feet down, plant them into the mat. From here, we're going to exhale as we press our palms down towards the mat, bringing the head, neck, and shoulders up and off. Inhale to lower down. Exhale. Coming up into a curl. What I want you to focus on is coming up using your abdominal muscles, so we're not pulling on the neck here. We're trying to bring our rib cage down towards our hips and closest distance. Pressing those heels into the mat to help stabilize you. Exhale as you come up. No tension in that neck. Can you keep a little bit of a gap between your chin and your chest? Think you're holding onto an egg. So you don't want to tuck the chin too far down and crack the egg, but you also don't want to extend that chin towards the ceiling too much and lose the egg. Beautiful. Lovely. Starting to warm up through the core. Give me 5. Last 4. Last 3. Nice and controlled. Last 2. Last 1. Hold yourself up for me. Hold yourself up nice and tall, remembering to keep that small gap within the chin. Keep your gaze trained just beyond your knees. Hold it. For 5, can you draw those ribs down a little bit more? 4, make sure there's no doming of the stomach. 3, 2, 1, melt down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to press those palms down into our curl. Come back to rest. Press through the heels, lift the hips, lower down. Exhale as you come up. Inhale to lower. Exhale as you press and lift those hips into your glute bridge and down. Back. Hips lift and down. Beautiful. Starting to incorporate the lower body. Requiring a little coordination here. Beautiful job. Coming up into your curl, down, pressing out through those heels and down. Give me a little bit more tempo here. Lift and lower, coming up to curl and down. Beautiful. Pressing through those heels, squeezing those glutes when you come into the glute bridge, and drawing those ribs down towards your hips. Give me 5. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Beautiful. Feeling those glutes warm up. Last 1. Curl. Come up into your glute bridge. Drop those palms down. Keep those hips up for me. Hold it up into your glute bridge. Squeeze those glutes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Melt down. Beautiful job. From here, step those feet out a little bit wider so they're not going to be underneath your knees anymore. They're going to be a little bit further out. We're going to come into a glute bridge. It's going to target a little bit more of our hamstrings here. Pressing those heels into the mat. Coming up into your glute bridge. Roll back down. Exhale. Notice how this feels when your feet are a little bit further out. Instantly, you'll start to feel a little bit more of those hamstrings light up. Definitely the glutes are working here. But now that our heels are a little further away from our bum, we're starting to target those hamstrings. Pressing up, lowering down. Can you keep the squeeze on those glutes for me? Beautiful. Can you make sure you're pressing your ribs down towards your hips, activating through the core? Beautiful. Pressing up, lowering down, starting to feel those glutes, maybe even those hamstrings. Fire up. Give me 5, 4, hold the top on 1, 3, last 2, last 1, press up, feel that burn, feel those hamstrings activating from here. Press those palms into the mat. I want you to walk your heels back in line with your knees, and then walk them back out. Pressing in, walking back out. So we're trying to keep our hips stable as much as we can as we just walk the heels in, the feet in and out. So focus on drawing your ribs down towards your hips to help stabilize you, to help keep your hips nice and lifted. Press those palms into the mat, and all we're doing is walking the feet in and then walking them out. Beautiful. Give me 5. Last 4. Keep breathing for me. Squeeze those glutes. Last 2. And last 1. Out, in. Take the feet out to that longer position. Press back up. Squeeze onto those glutes. Lower halfway down. Press back up. Halfway down. Press back up. Beautiful. Down and up. Squeeze those glutes for me. Draw the ribs down towards your hips. Can you make sure those shoulders are pressing down into the mat, not caving and rolling up? Beautiful. Give me 5, 4, last 3, last 2, last 1, and melt back down. Beautiful job. Bring those knees into the chest. Maybe create some circles with those knees in towards the chest, relieving some of this tension in the glutes. Take a big deep breath for me. Beautiful job. Bring those feet back down towards the mat. This time I want your feet underneath your knees, but I want your feet a little bit closer together. So they're not touching, but they're a little bit more narrow. This is also going to help us continue to target those hamstrings. We're going to press up and lower down. So you'll instantly feel that as you squeeze up through the glutes, the hamstrings activate. You're feeling that tension in the glutes, in the hamstrings, maybe even through the inner thighs. Beautiful. Press up, lower down. If anyone would like a little bit more of a challenge, bring both palms up in front of the face. And if you're feeling nice and stable here, when your hips lower, lower the arms. Bring them back up. Another combo move here. Arms move with the hips. Arms lower, hips lower, press back up. Beautiful. Spread through those fingers, create tension in the arms, and squeeze those glutes. Press the heels into the mat. Give me 8, 7, last 6, last 5. Draw those ribs down towards your hips to protect the spine. Activate through the core. Last 2, last 1. Lower down. Bring those palms down to the mat. Beautiful job. Roll onto the right side body here. Laying down on our right side. Our bicep is going to be a pillow for our head. Our hips are stacked on top of each other. Our knees are bent. From here, you can place that left palm on the hips or on the mat. Press your waist away from the mat. I want you to keep a tiny gap between your waist and the mat to make sure you're activating through the core, drawing those ribs down towards your hips and making sure our powerhouse is on. From here, we're going to lift those feet up, glue your feet together. We're going to open up into our clam and close it down. Open up as you exhale. Inhale as you close. All the movement is coming from this glute here. So what I want you to focus on is moving from the glutes, even if you're only opening up just a little bit through the knees. What we don't want to be doing is opening up and the hips falling back. We want to keep our hips nice and even trained forward to the wall in front of us. Open and lower. Beautiful. Opening up, lowering down. Maybe starting to feel that glute shake already. Open up and lower down. Beautiful job. Nice and controlled here. Squeezing that glute as you open. Keeping those hips nice and stable and activating through the core. Open up, lower down. Give me 5, 4, holding on 1, 3, last 2, last 1, hold it up. Hold it open, give me a little pulse, back and back, back and back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, drop it down, drop the feet down. Extend the top leg out, lift it up, lower it down. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower, making sure that that hip is not rolling back. We're making sure that our hips are nice and even, again, trained to the wall in front of us. Now, focus on lifting by squeezing through that glute. If that leg only comes up halfway, but you're squeezing on that glute and feeling it activate, that is more than fine. We're not going for height here, we're going for activation. Pointing that toe, or even flexing it. See how that feels for you. Sometimes when we've got it flexed, it feels a little bit more stronger. Sometimes when we point, it can feel a little stronger. You can also lift for 1, point, flex for 1. Pointing, flexing. Ooh, yes, there we go. And up. Give me 8, 6, 5. Draw those ribs down towards your hips. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up. Beautiful. Wherever you are, hold that one up. Then bring that knee into the chest. Send it back. Knee into the chest. Send it back. Just a small movement here. Exhale as you bring the knee in. Press it and stamp it back. That's it. Exhale. Feel those obliques on the left side work as you bring the knee in. And press it back out. Give me 5. Last 4. Last 3. 2. Last 1. Press it out. Lower it down. Give me some taps there. Very nice. Roll onto the opposite side. We are going to repeat on the left. I'm going to come up and around for you. Beautiful. So again, our bicep is a pillow for our head. Our hips are stacked on top of each other, knees are bent. From here, we're pressing our waist away from the mat to activate through the core. Pressing that palm down, lift the feet. Glue them together,
Open up into your clam, lower down. Exhale as you open, inhale to lower, squeezing with that right glute, moving nice and slowly, really focusing on that squeeze. Exhale, lifting with the glute. Open and close, beautiful. Making sure those feet stay glued together. Beautiful, making sure we're not rolling out of the hips. Hips are staying trained towards the wall in front of you. Draw those ribs down towards your hips to activate through the core. Beautiful. Give me 5. Squeeze the glute. 4. Last 3. Holding on 1. Last 2. Open up on 1. Give me that little lift. Open and open and open. Keep everything nice and still. Open and open for 8, 7, 6. Can you make it even more controlled for me? 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Extend out that top leg. You're going to lift and lower. Lifting up, lowering down. Squeezing with the glute as we lift. Making sure that we're activating through the waist and the core. Drawing those ribs down towards the hips. Making sure our powerhouse is on. We can add that lift with the point, that lift with the flex. Up pointing, then flexing and lifting. See how that feels. Beautiful. Up and up, squeezing that glute. Making sure we're not rolling too far forward with the body. Up and up. Beautiful job. Keep pointing and flexing. Give me 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up for me. Hold it up. I'm going to flex it because I had it flexed last time. Bring that knee into the chest. Send it back. Exhale as you bring it in. And then send it back, stamping down to the wall behind you. In and back. Can you roll that right shoulder back a little bit for me? Release any tension there. Can you press that waist up just a little bit more out of the mat? In, exhale. Beautiful. Give me 6. Feel that glute. Last 5, nice and controlled. Last 4. Everything's nice and stable. 3. Ooh. Last 2. Last 1. In. Press back out. Drop it down. Tap out that glute for me. Beautiful job. Come onto the stomach from here. Option 2. Come into a kneeling plank or step out into a full forearm plank. Wherever we are, we're on our forearms. So forearms can be in 11 or they can be in a prayer. Pressing up and out of the mat. Draw those ribs down towards your hips. If you're coming out into your full plank, press those feet away from the mat. Activate and squeeze those glutes and those quads. If you're kneeling, I want you to press up out of those forearms. Draw ribs down towards your hips to really activate through the core. Keeping our gaze trained between the palms. We're going to press up and hold in our plank here. So hold this for me. Can you press those forearms out of the mat a little bit more? Keep breathing continuously through this. If we're up on our forearms in your full plank, I want you to slightly rock forward and then rock back. Exhale as you rock forward and back. This is a really nice, slow and controlled movement here. Really making that core work for it, incorporating and activating through the obliques, those transverse abdominis. That's it. Beautiful job. Stick it with me. If you're kneeling, from here still forward and back a little bit. It's going to be a lot smaller, but just a tiny rock. Keep going for me. We've got 6. Last 5. Last 4. Can you tuck those hips down a tiny bit more? 3.
Last 2. Beautiful job. Last 1. Beautiful. Drop those knees, untuck those toes, bring those palms underneath the shoulders, press away from the mat, lengthen through the front of the body. Coming into that up dog, stretching out through the front of the torso. Beautiful. Press into one palm and alternate a little bit, lengthening through the front of the body. Letting those shoulder blades melt down your back. Just stretching out a little bit. Beautiful job. Ooh, my shoulders from that plank. Tuck those feet under, press up and away from the mat, pressing into your downward dog. Start to pedal out through the legs a little bit, loosening up through those hamstrings. They got a bit of a workout there in those glute bridges. They were more hamstring focused glute bridges today. It's always good to vary it up, challenge the body in different ways. Let me know how your hamstrings feel tomorrow. Beautiful. Give me 3. Last 2. Last 1. From here, bring that right shin parallel to the edge of the mat. Come down into that pigeon stretch for me. If that's uncomfortable, bring that left leg out into a 90 degrees so that the shin is parallel with the mat. And from here, we're just going to walk our palms down to where we're most comfortable, stretching out into our pigeon pose, taking a big deep breath in and exhaling, feeling a stretch through that right glute. Beautiful, maybe even the hip flexor. One more big deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful, walk the palms back up. Step that foot back, switch over, left shin becomes parallel with the mat, right leg extend out long, or bring it into a 90 degrees with that shin or that calf parallel to the mat. From here, make sure those hips are nice and even, facing down towards the mat. Walk those palms out, coming down into that pigeon stretch. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. Feeling that stretch through the left glute, maybe even through the front of the right hip flexor. Beautiful. One more big deep breath in like that. And exhale. Beautiful job. Walk it back up. Twist over to the front. Come back up to seat in the middle of the mat. Bring those palms up over the head. Open up into a cactus. Opening up through the front of the chest. Beautiful. Reaching up nice and tall. One more exhale. Down into cactus. Beautiful job. Arms up to the ceiling. Drop that left palm. Come down onto that elbow. Stretch out through the right side. Feel a nice stretch through the right side of the body. Lower back. All across the ribs up to the shoulder. Bring that right palm down to the mat. Come into that left side stretch. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. Feel that stretch from the lower back of the left side up to the ribs. Beautiful. Back to center. Thanks so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope you enjoyed this full body session. It was very much about re-energizing the body, not pushing it too hard. So I hope that you feel a little bit better now that we've reached the end of the class. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below, and I'll see you on the mat next time. Thanks guys. Bye.